Yo, what is up, boys? Gibbs Frontline here. We've got a lot to talk about, starting with how worth it is it for you to pull Macchiato, whale, or free-to-play gamer. If you're a whale, I feel like you're just pulling every character, so you don't really need tips on that. But free-to-play gamers out here, should you be pulling for Macchiato? And if so, how far should you be going for her? Because there's a lot of discussion on Suomi at, V0 or V1. So we're going to discuss that. Also, there is a new code, by the way. It is called GFL2 Christmas or Xmas. Let me make sure I got this junk right. Hold up. It is called, it's GFL2 Xmas. So make sure you're putting that bad boy in. It gives you 50 collapse pieces and like 200 like weapon EXP, character EXP, and then there's one other thing it gave me, I forgot. But I already claimed it, so yeah, that is that. Let me see if I still have it in my mail. Do I still have it in my mail? It's somewhere in here, and I don't know where that place is. Oh, this might be it. This potentially is it. Yeah, that gives you Sardis Gold, character EXP, weapon EXP. So yeah, that is that. So the new patch is out right now, but the Macchiato banner is not out. So I guess we'll just be discussing it right now. I've got a CN tier list and an EN tier list to discuss about, by the way. Also, I made a Platoon. They released a Platoon system without Macchiato, which is very interesting here. But yeah, I got a Platoon. If you want to join up, my camera is blocking it. Let's move that real quick. So my Platoon is called Darkrai. Holy. This is the ID code. I'll put this in the comments if you want to copy and paste that, or just search up Darkrai. You could find me. Yeah, I just made it, so if you want to pull up, join up. I don't know if I have to like accept people or if they can just pull up, or it's an approval list. Yeah, so if you join up, just make sure you're playing the game, do your attacks and all that stuff. Level requirement, probably like at least 35, because that means you've been playing the game. If you're like below 35, I feel like you've been like super AFK, So that's that. You don't gotta be like a super whale or anything, just make sure you're playing the game and you're doing your platoon attack stuff, Besides that though, pretty simple, we're all just grinding to get that Papasha, Also, speaking of Papasha, she is currently free right now, also claimable, which is interesting, that you can claim the free Papasha, and we can do guilds or platoons, but we can't do Macchiato pools yet. Kinda weird. Holy. That was a clean animation. Alright, let's discuss the meat of what we're talking about today, though. Let's stop stalling. Let's get to the meat of what we're talking about today, though. So, Macchiato, she is a ice sniper DPS. So, what does that mean in terms of her tier list ranking here? So we have Pridewin's global ranking, and I have two CN tier lists, which have pretty much the same general idea in terms of these two CN tier lists, but they are 6 months apart, and one has Kolfin and Kessania in completely different locations. As you can see here, they both are sharing tier 2 on this one, but on this one, Kolfin went down to tier 4, but this is the newer one. So I've heard Kessania very good in the burn team with Chanju, QJ here. Also, if you don't know, Tololo got buffed in CN, so she's doing like massive damage with her extra turns. So that's why she's currently in tier 0 with her full water team. We currently don't have access to that. We have just Tololo and Sabrina, which is still pretty solid, but once we get a full water team, Tololo is probably going to move up for us as well, but Tololo is still pretty solid. I personally also play Tololo. I think she's been doing work. She kind of just nukes them, Also, my Ulrid's still been doing work. What they got Ulrid at right now? Ulrid is, tier 2 on the newest version, and what do they have her on for this one? They have her tier 3 on this one. Keep in mind, this one is 6 months old, so, ideas and thoughts may have changed. And Pridewin's tier list for global right now has Macchiato at S tier, okay? And for the CN tier list, she's also still at S tier. I don't know why they have two. Someone at the Pridewin team did a little bit of a goof in the coding. They put Macchiato's picture for Belka. Holy, 2 Macchiatos in S tier. Insane. But yeah, looking at Macchiato here, she is still a very high rated DPS. If you're a meta Marty, I mean, I guess Kluke is above her, but like, if you're playing for meta, I gotta be honest, I'm kind of sad for you. If you're playing only for meta, I think the game's pretty good. You know, you could just play the game. You know, get some good characters here and there. You know, so, yeah. I mean, she's pretty solid, pretty solid. But so MAKIATTO, she is a freeze ice character. What does she do? She does counter attacks pretty much. She puts a shield on herself, and when she has the shield, if someone attacks her, she attacks them. But what is special about her shield is, unlike Groza, Groza waits for the enemy to actually enact a hit on you, and then she does her counter attack. But what MAKIATTO does, which is unique, is she actually attacks before the enemy attacks. So if someone is going to attack and she's going to counter it, she will attack them before they even attack her. So that means she could kill them and not even take any damage because she killed them before they even got off their attack. So she's a big threat. She's a big threat for sure. And this shield is actually pretty nice too that she has. So it's a little bit of self-sustain. Look, 60% of her maximum HP, and it scales off of her initial attack power. So probably base attack, I'm assuming. Something like, reminds me of Bennett from Genshin there. But yeah, so big thing is her shield and her counterattacks. Her extra copies here in her Neurohelix make it so that, where are her copies at? You know, for this, we can check the page here because I want to talk about her weapons and stuff too if you don't plan on pulling her signature. I'm personally planning on using the Samosek because it has higher base attack and it still gives you a little bit of a damage bonus here. And it lets you ignore stability with Insight, which is what snipers get, which is pretty solid. Weapon options, you have her signature weapon, Ballad's Whisper, Samosek, and then WA 2000. They usually have a like 4-star variant of the character's signature weapon on banner. They had that for Suomi and Ulrid. Like Suomi had like her signature weapon, and then she had the 4-star weapon, which is literally called Suomi. And then Ulrid had her signature weapon, and then she had like a regular sword. I don't have it to show, but they might have it on here. Think they should have it on here. Yeah, it was the Feather Edge. I think I had a different name though because this this document references CN, so these weapons have like a little bit of a different name, but the idea is still the same, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, MAKIATTO here. Ballad Whisper, Bitter Candy, it's a signature weapon. I'm pretty sure there's a different name as well. Samosek still has the same name. I'm probably going to be getting the Samosek because after I wish for her, I will be able to get enough in the shop here for the free weapon that you can choose. But I'll see what we're doing first though. Yeah, I'll see what we're going on with the 4-star weapon and what she's doing, and then I'll think about upgrading to the 5-star. Because the only problem with using the Samosek is it's made for Mosin Nagant. As you can see, it gives you electric damage boost. So you're kind of losing half of the weapon's like value. Most of the weapon's value comes from getting higher base attack and the damage bonus. But yeah, if anything, maybe I dabble a little bit in Weapon Banner and try to pick up a WA 2000, 4-star, the Wish version of the signature. But yeah, that's just me. If you want to know her keys, by the way, she wants to use 1, 2, and 6. Makes it so she can start with her ulti. She gets a free, they had it called Contamination Gauge. This is the same thing as your skill points. What do they call it again in this game? They have some super long name for no reason. It's like Confectant Index. I just clicked in my head. Yeah, okay, they're talking about Confectant Index right here, by the way. So, there's that, and she gets an attack bonus, but the only problem with this attack bonus is she loses it if she loses HP. So if you're using this key 6 here, make sure that your MAKIATTO is playing super backline. She has a lot of range just like Nemesis, so you really want to make sure that you're playing her range correctly. Also, this probably affects auto battle as well, so if you're going to play auto battle, don't use your key 6. Make sure you're using either your key 3 or key 5. They have a little note here for key 3 that if you should only be using this if you want to inflict freeze instantly, if you're using S2 or S1, or if you have V1 MAKIATTO, you have 1 copy of her C1. And then her 5 key is she is using this for bossing because at the start of a battle, it will inflict Cold-Blooded Instinct, which is a debuff for the enemy on them and a buff for her, where she will do more damage. So that is pretty good on that. So in terms of her copies here, one of her biggest ones is her V1 because instead of increasing crit damage from her passive, she will also deal 2 instances of damage equivalent to 100% of her attack. And if one of the instances crits, if the first instance of crits, it increases her crit rate and crit damage of this second hit. So pretty big booster right there on damage. Let me make sure it's still accurate, by the way, because I know they've changed some of the stuff. I want to see if Pridewin has the same thing there, just to make sure. I don't know if they have the same thing on Pridewin here. Because these are the keys. I don't think they have it on Pridewin, unfortunate. Okay, we're going to have to go off of this for her vertebrae. I'm pretty sure these are pretty accurate. I don't think any are like completely wrong information because it is from CN. I think it's just they might have translation issues like the contamination gauge versus the confectant index. Yeah, but her C1, C2 are pretty big pickups because her C1 gives you that fat crit damage booster and the extra instances of damage. And then her C2 makes it so that her Frostbearer can get more HP, but can't exceed 80% once again. So 80% attack, 80% HP. And then her Overwatch can be triggered one more time, and her Overwatch is her counter attack. So yeah, MAKIATTO, very solid character. Like I said, CN, they still have her in tier 1 as a DPS, which I would say is very solid. Now, obviously, keep in mind, Tololo is above because she got buffed in CN. We don't have that yet on EN server here. Other characters, if you're interested, by the way, they have Groza tier 3, Vepli tier 3, character we don't have, Ulrid, another character we don't have, tier 2, a bunch of people we don't have, literally only Ulrid and Vepli on this side here. They have Perdita in tier 2 with Papasha here, if you're wondering what Papasha's rating is looking like. If we check Pridewin's tier list on where they have her at, Papasha is sitting at, they have her at C tier, which I would say is like CN's tier 3 or 4 equivalent, if I had to be honest right there. But, yeah. Sorry that this video is kind of balloons, by the way. I don't have a Bilibili account, so yeah, it is what it is. This is Springfield, which is a character that just released, so we're probably not getting her for a long time, to be honest. They have Swomi and Vector. That's crazy. The Springfield character is better than Swomi and Vector. That Swomi was like the overload god. But I mean, she's still pretty good. And then Sabrina, they also moved up to tier 1, probably because of Tololo. She is pretty good. I mean, we also get Sabrina for free, so pretty big. That free character is that juice. But yeah, that is what I want to talk about for MAKIATTO. If you want to join my platoon, by the way, Darkrai, here is the code once again. I will be wishing for MAKIATTO as soon as she comes out. I don't know when she comes out. I've seen people having a timer that she comes out at like 11 or 10 a.m. I have no idea, but those are my thoughts on MAKIATTO. I will be pulling for her. I will do a video, you know, discussing builds and how to play her and stuff when she comes out. So stay tuned for that. And as usual, make sure to sub. Let me know your thoughts, and goodbye.